Alphonse Gabriel Capone was born in 1899 in Brooklyn, New York. His early years were spent in a bustling yet challenging environment. He was the fourth of 9 children in a struggling immigrant family from Italy. The Capone family, like many others, sought the American dream but faced numerous hardships. Life in turn-of-the-century Brooklyn was tough. Poverty was rampant. The streets were rough. The Capones lived in a tenement where overcrowding and poor sanitation were common. Young Al Capone found himself drawn to the allure of street gangs. These gangs offered a sense of belonging and protection that was hard to find elsewhere. He joined the notorious 5 Points gang led by the ruthless Frankie Yale. This gang was infamous for its violent activities and control over various illegal enterprises. This early exposure to crime hardened Capone. He quickly learned the harsh realities of street life and the importance of being tough. It also taught him the value of loyalty and ruthlessness, traits that would define his future. In the gang, loyalty was paramount, and betrayal was met with severe consequences. Capone's formal education ended in 6th grade. His time in school was marked by frequent conflicts and a growing disinterest in academics. He had been expelled for assaulting a teacher. This incident marked the end of his conventional education and pushed him further into the world of crime. With limited options, he took on odd jobs to help his family. These jobs were often menial and poorly paid, but they were necessary for the family's survival. However, the pull of the streets remained strong. The excitement and potential for quick money were hard to resist. Capone found himself increasingly involved in petty crime. These small-time offenses were his entry into the larger world of organized crime. He worked as a bouncer in a brothel, where he earned his infamous nickname, Scarface, after a bar fight. This job exposed him to the darker side of city life. The incident left him with 3 distinctive scars on his left cheek. These scars became a part of his identity, symbolizing his toughness and resilience. Despite his tough exterior, Capone was known for his charisma and intelligence. He had a way with people that made him both feared and respected. He possessed a natural ability to command respect and loyalty. His leadership skills were evident even at a young age. These qualities, combined with his growing reputation for violence, caught the attention of powerful figures in the criminal underworld. Capone's name began to be known beyond his immediate circle. One such figure was Johnny Torrio, a successful gangster who would become Capone's mentor. Torrio saw potential in the young Capone that others might have overlooked. Torrio recognized Capone's potential and took him under his wing. He taught Capone the intricacies of the criminal world and how to navigate its dangers. This mentorship proved to be a turning point in Capone's life. Under Torrio's guidance, Capone's criminal activities became more organized and profitable. It set him on a path toward becoming one of the most notorious gangsters in American history. Capone's rise to power was swift and marked by both cunning and brutality. Johnny Torrio ran a successful criminal organization in New York. His operations were vast and varied, encompassing everything from bootlegging to gambling. Torrio was a mastermind, known for his strategic thinking and ability to stay one step ahead of the law. His influence in the underworld was unmatched, and he commanded respect from both allies and rivals. He saw promise in the young and ambitious Capone. Capone, who was eager to make a name for himself, quickly caught Torrio's attention. Torrio recognized Capone's potential and took him under his wing, offering him guidance and mentorship. This relationship would prove to be pivotal for both men. Under Torrio's guidance, Capone learned the intricacies of organized crime. He was taught the importance of discretion, the art of negotiation, and the necessity of maintaining a network of loyal associates. Torrio's teachings were comprehensive, covering every aspect of the criminal enterprise. He started with small-time jobs, running errands, and collecting debts. These tasks, though menial, were crucial in building Capone's understanding of the criminal world. They taught him the value of hard work and the importance of earning trust within the organization. As he proved his loyalty and competence, Torrio entrusted him with more responsibility. Capone began to oversee more significant operations, managing larger sums of money and more complex schemes. This increased responsibility was a testament to Torrio's growing trust in Capone's abilities. Capone learned the importance of building alliances. He understood that in the world of organized crime, no one could succeed alone. Forming strategic partnerships was essential for expanding their influence and securing their operations. These alliances often involved delicate negotiations and mutual benefits. He also discovered the effectiveness of intimidation and violence in maintaining control. Capone learned that fear could be a powerful tool in ensuring loyalty and deterring rivals. This lesson would become a cornerstone of his approach to leadership in the criminal underworld. Torrio taught him about the lucrative potential of prostitution, gambling, and extortion. These illegal enterprises were highly profitable and formed the backbone of their criminal empire. Capone quickly grasped the financial benefits of these operations and the importance of maintaining their secrecy. These were the cornerstones of their illegal empire. The money generated from these activities funded their operations and allowed them to expand their influence. Capone's understanding of these enterprises was crucial to his future success. Capone thrived in this environment. He was a quick learner, absorbing everything Torrio taught him. His natural charisma and strategic mind made him a formidable figure in the underworld. Capone's rise was swift, and he quickly became a key player in Torrio's organization. He was quick to learn and eager to please his mentor. Capone's dedication to Torrio was unwavering, and he worked tirelessly to prove his worth. This dedication did not go unnoticed, and Torrio continued to invest in Capone's development. He rose through the ranks, earning Torrio's trust and respect. Capone's rise was marked by his ability to handle increasingly complex and high-stakes operations. His success in these endeavors solidified his position within the organization and earned him the respect of his peers. However, their criminal enterprise was not without its rivals. The underworld was a competitive and dangerous place with numerous factions vying for control. These rivalries often led to violent confrontations as each group sought to assert its dominance. Violence between gangs was common in the battle for control of New York's underworld. These conflicts were brutal and often resulted in significant casualties. Capone quickly learned the harsh realities of gang warfare and the constant threat it posed to their operations. One particular incident proved to be a turning point for Capone. This event would change the course of his life and set him on a new path. It was a moment that tested his resolve and his ability to navigate the dangerous world of organized crime. In 1919, he was involved in a brawl with a rival gang member. The fight was intense and left a lasting impression on Capone. It was a stark reminder of the violence that permeated their world and the constant danger they faced. Fearing retribution, Torrio decided to send Capone to Chicago. This decision was made to protect Capone and to give him a fresh start in a new city. Torrio believed that Chicago offered greater opportunities and a safer environment for Capone to continue his rise. The move would provide Capone with a fresh start. Chicago was a city ripe with opportunity, and Capone was determined to make the most of it. He saw this relocation as a chance to build his own legacy and to step out of Torrio's shadow. It would also prove to be a pivotal moment in his rise to power. Chicago would become the stage for Capone's greatest successes and his most notorious exploits. This move marked the beginning of a new chapter in Capone's life, one that would see him become one of the most infamous figures in the history of organized crime. Chicago in the 1920s was a city on the brink of transformation. The dawn of Prohibition in 1920 had created a unique opportunity for ambitious criminals. The demand for alcohol remained high despite its illegality. This opened a lucrative black market for those willing to supply it. Johnny Torrio, already established in Chicago, summoned Capone to join him. Torrio saw the potential for immense profits in the city's burgeoning bootlegging industry. He recognized Capone's ruthlessness and business acumen as valuable assets in this new venture. Capone arrived in Chicago in 1920. He quickly established himself as a force to be reckoned with. He used his intelligence and charm to forge alliances with corrupt politicians and law enforcement officials. These connections proved invaluable in protecting his illegal operations. Under Torrio's guidance, Capone learned the intricacies of the bootlegging trade. He oversaw the smuggling of liquor from Canada and other parts of the United States. He also established a network of speakeasies throughout the city. These illegal drinking establishments generated vast profits for Torrio's organization. Section 4. The Bootleg King, Building an Empire on Illegal Liquor. Capone quickly rose through the ranks of Torrio's organization. He became known for his business acumen and his ruthless efficiency. He wasn't afraid to use violence to eliminate competition or silence potential threats. This combination of charisma and brutality earned him both respect and fear. The profits from bootlegging were astronomical. Capone invested heavily in legitimate businesses as a front for his illegal activities. He owned casinos, nightclubs, and even a dairy company. These ventures provided a cover for his ill-gotten gains and gave him an air of respectability. However, Capone's rise to power was not without its challenges. Rival gangs competed for control of the lucrative bootlegging trade. The streets of Chicago became a battleground for turf wars and bloody vendettas. Capone's ruthlessness became legendary. He surrounded himself with loyal and deadly enforcers, including the notorious Chicago Outfit. He used violence strategically, eliminating rivals and consolidating his power. This reign of terror cemented his reputation as the undisputed king of Chicago's underworld. Section 5. Maintaining control, violence in the Windy City. The streets of Chicago in the Roaring '20s were awash in violence. Rival gangs fought for control of the city's lucrative criminal enterprises. Capone, at the helm of his powerful organization, was a key player in this bloody conflict. He understood that maintaining his grip on power required more than just business savvy. It demanded a willingness to resort to violence when necessary. Capone's enforcers, armed with Thompson submachine guns and sawed-off shotguns, became infamous for their brutality. Drive-by shootings, bombings, and assassinations became commonplace. Victims were often riddled with bullets, left in alleyways as a grim warning to others. The police, often corrupt and on Capone's payroll, turned a blind eye to the escalating violence. Capone himself was a target of several assassination attempts. His armored car with bulletproof glass and reinforced steel plating became a symbol of his power and paranoia. Despite the constant threat of violence, Capone remained defiant. He continued to consolidate his power, eliminating rivals and expanding his criminal empire. Section 6. The St. Valentine's Day Massacre, a bloody turning point. On February 14, 1929, a chilling event shook Chicago to its core, forever altering the landscape of organized crime in the city. This event not only marked a significant escalation in gang violence, but also forever tarnished the reputation of one of the most infamous mobsters of the era, Al Capone. 7 men, all members of the rival North Side gang led by the notorious Bugs Moran, were brutally gunned down in a garage on North Clark Street. The scene was one of unimaginable carnage, with bodies strewn across the floor and walls riddled with bullet holes. This gruesome event quickly became known as the St. Valentine's Day Massacre, a name that would live in infamy. The massacre was a meticulously planned hit, bearing all the hallmarks of Capone's ruthless and strategic approach to eliminating his rivals. It was a clear message to anyone who dared to challenge his authority. 4 men, disguised as police officers, entered the garage under the pretense of conducting a raid. They ordered the victims to line up against the wall, creating a false sense of security before unleashing a deadly hail of bullets. Armed with Thompson submachine guns, the assailants fired relentlessly, ensuring that there were no survivors. The brutality and precision of the attack were shocking, even by the violent standards of the time. Although Capone had an alibi, claiming to be in Florida at the time of the massacre, few doubted his involvement. His influence and reach were well known, and the timing of the attack was too convenient to be a mere coincidence. The sheer brutality of the act, the precision with which it was carried out, and the elimination of key rivals all pointed to Capone's orchestration. It was a bold move that demonstrated his willingness to go to any lengths to maintain his power. The St. Valentine's Day Massacre sent shockwaves through the nation, capturing the attention of the public and the media. It was a stark reminder of the violent underworld that lurked beneath the surface of American society. Public opinion, once somewhat tolerant of Capone's exploits, turned sharply against him. The massacre was a turning point, galvanizing public sentiment and increasing calls for action against organized crime. The federal government, under increasing pressure to crack down on organized crime, made Capone their public enemy number 1. This marked the beginning of an intense and relentless campaign to bring him to justice, ultimately leading to his downfall.